welcome to the Wake Up Call Network. I'm your host, David M. Frankel, and the show is the Perky Collar radio and TV show. Tonight, we're very blessed to have a great group with us. We actually have 3 interviewees. You can't see them, but they're actually on the phone. We have 2 of them in New York and 1 of them in San Francisco, and they are the founders of a company called Tall Order. Do I have Lisa, Dan, and Mike on the phone?
How you doing?
How are you guys?
They're all there. That's good. Sound check approved. So I'll let whoever wants to answer the question. How did you guys get started, and why did you start Tall Order?
Yeah, this is Dan Friedman. I'm one of the co-founders of TallOrder.com. So you can't tell from over the phone, but my twin brother Mike and I have always been really, really tall. You know, I'm 6'9". My brother Mike is 6'11". So growing up, you know, we're twins also. So growing up, we were always called the Twin Towers. We were always the tallest people in our age group. We were always the tallest people around. So the Twin Towers nickname came very naturally to us. Unfortunately, on September 11, 2001, that nickname took on a very deep-rooted irony when we lost our father, Andrew Friedman, in the World Trade Center. He was everything to us. So that really got us at the time. But the response from our community was truly incredible. You know, people really went out of their way to show us love and generosity. We always thought it was a, quote, tall order to pay everyone back for everything they did. And so in that spirit, we founded TallOrder.com, not just to make fun and fashionable dress socks, starting with guys with bigger feet, and now we're going to be expanding into some other sizes, some smaller sizes later this year. But we also wanted to use the company as a vehicle to give back to those that have helped us so much along the way. So we're going to be donating a portion of our profit to Tuesday's Children, which is a charity that assists communities suffering through traumatic loss, terrorist attacks, military involvement. They did a lot for us after September 11th, and so we're happy to be giving back a portion of our proceeds to them.
Fantastic. And I have a little magnet here with Tuesday's Children here. This is a token as to where 10% of the proceeds go to, which is fantastic. A very compelling story, and I have to tell you, for the first time in my life, I was able to go to Ground Zero this past weekend, and the fountain they've made and the tribute they've made to people is truly breathtaking. So I can only imagine the pain and challenge that you and your family have gone through. And again, all I can offer is my prayers and thoughts for your continued grieving and moving forward. So I think it's great that you create a business in his honor. I have to ask you, I guess the obvious question, why socks? I know you're both tall, but why socks? Isn't there tall jackets, tall belts, big shoes? Why socks?
We wanted to start with socks, mostly out of a little bit of jealousy. You know, socks have become sort of the new wave of a fashion accessory. Unless you're in a really formal industry, you're not wearing ties to work anymore. You're personalizing yourself through your socks. And so my brother and I would always see our friends that aren't quite as tall as us, and we'd see them in these fun and fashionable socks, and we could never get them because the selection at big and tall stores is very muted. It's very plain. It's mostly plain blacks, plain blues, plain grays, maybe a stripe or an argyle every now and then. But for the most part, we didn't find the type of designs that we wanted to accentuate our personality and really add a pop of color to our life. And so we decided to make them ourselves. And so we're starting with socks, and then who knows where it goes from there.
That's excellent. And I agree with you 100%. My father was 6'3" and 295 pounds, and he brought me to one of the big and tall stores, let's say Deluxe or one of those. And I walked in, I could not believe how muted the shoes were, how boring the socks were, and they were all like twice as much as every other store. So you pay more, and you have less excitement, less color choices, which is even worse. So there's definitely a need for that. Let's talk about the logo. There's a really cute logo, meaningful logo, I should say. I wouldn't say it's cute. I'd say it's meaningful. It's on the ankle of all your socks. Tell us about that.
Mike, you want to take this one?
Yeah, this is Mike Friedman here. The logo means so much to us. We purposely put it on the ankle of the sock because the idea was when men cross their feet, the logo stands out as a conversation starter. It's blue to represent the clear blue sky on 9/11, and there's a little image of the Twin Towers. So that logo is just the backbone of why we created these socks, not only to honor those who were lost on 9/11, but to continue the legacy of our dad and what he stood for. So that logo will be there forever for these socks, and for anything we do make, we'll make sure that logo stays there.
Yeah, you know what, just Lisa, we just feel that we want people to talk about it. So if you bury the logo on the top of the sock, or you don't put it, or you put it on the bottom, you're not going to get people to continue to talk about the importance of giving back. And so if you cross your legs and the logo shows, and somebody says, "Hey, why is there a bright blue logo on your orange socks, your pink socks, your green socks?" We did it purposely. We wanted whoever the gentleman is that's wearing the socks to say, "Hey, listen, these guys that made these socks that are doing this are giving back to other communities that have gone through traumatic loss, and military families that have lost a loved one." And we just think that having the blue color stick out is part of the whole story. We could have made the logo in the color of the socks, and it would have blended right in, but that's not what we're about. We're about making sure we spread the message that, when times are tough, we all have to help one another.
Exactly right.
We're all in this together.
Exactly right. So in looking at your pamphlet, I see the Gold Coast collection and the BIM collection. Help me understand where the names came from.
So the BIM collection came from our dad's close group of really great friends from when he was growing up in New York. So he and his friends would take odd summer jobs in middle school and high school to get some spending money for the year. And one of the jobs they took was being dishwashers at a local catering hall, where the patrons would refer to the busboys and the dishwashers as the BIMmies. And so they adopted the BIMS moniker. And so every sock in our first collection, the BIM collection, is named after a member of the BIMS, and the designs embody some of their personality traits and their spirit that they brought to the group. So, for example, you have the Stewie, you have the Kenny, you have the Marty. So each of these were different members of the BIMS growing up along with our dad. And then the Gold Coast collection, which is going to be coming out a little bit later this year, and it is going to be available in more sizes. You're going to have sizes 9 to 11 coming out, because we started off in 12 to 20, but we will have 9 to 11 starting in the Gold Coast collection. The name of that one came from when our dad moved on to college. He went on to George Washington University, and at the same day at a freshman orientation, he met a group of guys that he became friends with forever, and friends that we're still friendly with. They're basically family to us, so we're so excited to expand our collection, name them after some more really, really good friends and family to our dad. The designs are fun, they're fashionable, they're sporty, they're summery. There's a good mix of balance of designs with some sports images, some more bright colors, some different things that we're really excited to show people once they are released.
That's excellent. And it's great that you have a story to tell about everything you do. That's what I think really makes Tall Order so special. It's not just here's some socks. Like as I walked around the Chicago Collective, no one had a story about their socks. And that's why I stopped and talked to your mom for so long, is because I finally found a company that I can get behind, and I proudly would showcase your socks and display your socks because you have a story behind it and you have a meaning behind it. It's not just, oh, we're all just doing it to get a lot of money and become the sock company in the world and dominate. It's really, there's a story behind everything. You put a lot of thought behind it, and it's really your family history, which I think is fantastic. So tell me, what's next for you? You got into some stores through the Chicago Collective. What's on the horizon for spring of 2018?
Okay, this is Lita. So there's a lot going on. Right now we're actually out in LA for the NBA All-Star Week.
Very good.
And we are going to, we're out in LA. We are sponsoring a fundraiser for the Lady Life Foundation, and they go into communities of underprivileged children, and they help young ladies. They mentor them, and they give them the wardrobe and the tools necessary to go out into the working world and better themselves. So we're sponsoring a bowling event. Actually, it's tomorrow at Lucky Strike in LA. It's on February 15th. And we are going to make sure that all of the celebrity bowlers, a bunch of NBA players, people that are retired, and some other athletes are going to have our socks. And they're going to be wearing the Tall Order bowling shirts. And we're getting the word out that we all help one another. And so we're happy to support other organizations that are trying to do similar things that we're doing. Additionally, we are available online right now at King Size Direct, which is the largest online retailer for big and tall men right now. And again, as we said, since we're going to be adding in sizes 9 to 11, my guess is, I can't pre-announce, but you will start seeing us in other more familiar retail outlets on the internet as well. So, we are slowly spreading our wings.
Sure.
And of course, you can always get us at tallorder.com.
Okay.
And it's, it's very exciting. We launched in September. We're talking about a 5-month process so far. And so for 5 months, we're feeling really good. And you know what? We're just spreading the word about the importance of giving back. When people do the right thing by you, it's a tall order to do the right thing back. And that's, it's a play on words. Yes, we're tall, but it's not about being tall. It's about being related and being involved in a community. We're all in the community together, and we try to pay it forward. That's really what it's all about.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and this is Mike here. One of the things that we are starting to realize is that now that we're going into sizes 9 to 11, that no matter what size shoe you are, no matter how big, how small, wide, it doesn't matter. In our mind, every man is fit to stand tall. That's the main message that we wanted to create, and along with the part of paying it forward and giving back. That every man is fit to stand tall. And for anyone that wants to learn more about this, we encourage you to go to tallorder.com. That's tallorder.com to read about these wonderful, beautiful socks and the story and the message that are behind them.
Excellent. So now I have a question, being a fashion guy, where does your design come from? Who's got the design background or the eye for colors and patterns and so on and so forth?
So we like to think that all three of us have a big input on the design process. We wanted to create designs that embodied our dad's friends, spirits, and characteristics through the Pin collection and the Gold Coast collection. We do have a freelance designer on staff that helps put our ideas onto paper in a software package that we can send to our factory. But really, the inspiration came from our dad, came from his friends. That's really where the design came from. I'd like to think we all have an eye for fashion, seeing as we're now in the fashion business. So,
Welcome.
we all get some input on the designs. But really, it goes back to our dad's close friends, both from growing up on Long Island and further on at George Washington.
Excellent. So tell me about each of you a little bit more now. We understand the company, why the company was started, and what you guys are doing in the future. What is your background? What did you guys do before this? How did you come into starting the company, and so on and so forth? Whoever wants to go first. You go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mike here. So I went to Syracuse University for my undergrad, and I was part of the men's basketball team for all 4 years as a practice player / student manager. And then after that, I went into banking for 5 years. And the one thing I've learned about is the importance of teamwork, about everyone working together to achieve success. And having that will and that passion to do it is what really inspired me to come along with my mom and my brother to work together as a family to achieve the best that we can possibly achieve. So that, to me, is one of the things that I love about this company, is not only doing something for a good cause, not only making these socks, but to really elevate the bond that the three of us have for each other, and that, to me, is the most important thing.
Yeah, this is Dan. So I did my undergrad at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and then I worked at Bloomberg for 4 years, I did a couple of different roles, most recently in their account management and sales program for their financial software. But I realized that my passion wasn't with the financial markets. It wasn't with software. It was about doing what's right for our community. It was with doing something that I knew would fill a market need. I knew I wanted to do something on my own. My clients were even telling me, hey, you're so tall, you should be doing something about that, figuring out a way to monetize that. And so I'm happy to be combining all those things in our business and with our mission to give back to two-faced children. And currently I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm doing my MBA at the Darden School of Business at the University of Virginia. So it's been a massive time crunch, both being an owner of a business and pursuing my MBA. But at the same time, it's been really, really fulfilling. Charlottesville is a great community. Been super supportive of our business. We had a big launch party in September where my brother came down and surprised me. So I'm really happy to be down here right now, and I'm looking forward to joining my family tomorrow in Los Angeles.
Excellent. Lisa, you're up.
And my background is probably more different than everybody. So I'm an electrical engineer from Cornell. And when I graduated from college, I went to work for IBM for many years, and I kind of switched gears into management in a local bank on Long Island and in the tri-state area. But, at the end of the day, I had retired. I was doing interviewing for Cornell. I was doing a lot of nonprofit work and doing some public speaking. But when the kids came to me and said that they wanted to do something that fills a niche in the marketplace and also to give back to all the people that helped us, I got pulled in. I thought I was out, but now I'm in. So here I am. And you know what I'm really enjoying is that I'm learning something. I knew nothing about fashion. I knew nothing about retail. I knew nothing about manufacturing. And we're learning, as we go. And we're just, it's sort of trial by fire, but it's very interesting. And it's very rewarding to see the boys thrive, and so it's great.
So
we can keep plugging.
Sure. Where is home for each of you? So Charlottesville, Virginia, one is in California, one's in New York?
No. So Daniel's in Charlottesville right now.
Okay.
We're all from New York. Mike is living in Manhattan right now, and I jumped back. I'm remarried, and my husband and I jump back and forth between Florida and New York. We just happen to be in California right now for the NBA All-Star.
Okay, so 2 out of 3 of you live in New York.
Florida, Virginia.
Gotcha. Excellent. And obviously, it's a challenge when all 3 people that start a business live in the same city. It's another challenge to run a business and people aren't in 2 or 3 different cities. So help the people that are watching and listening to the show that have family in different parts of the country and have thought about starting a business but just think it'd be too hard. It's kind of like a long-distance relationship. And it's ironic that we're recording the show on Valentine's Day. We're talking about long-distance relationship for a second. But how do you do it when you're in separate states, separate time zones at times? How do you coordinate different things, launch products or different things, different components of the business? How do you do that and live in different places?
Well, the thing that I've noticed being in Virginia is, the speed at which we operate is perfect for our arrangement right now. I can get back to New York on a given notice. I can get to wherever I need to be. It's pretty accessible to get wherever I need to get to. And I just think that it comes down to communication. It's all about, setting expectations for each of us and fulfilling our roles and what we need to do. They know I'm here to learn as much as I can and contribute in the capacity that I can. So while I'm not necessarily on the ground level, doing, necessarily packing and shipping everything, I'm still very much involved in every conversation that we're having. Everything that we do is as a team. Every decision we make is as a team. And so it really comes down to the communication and the pacing of all of that.
That's excellent.
And I would just add that in some respects, because I've worked in corporate America my whole life, and if any of your listeners are listening in terms of the negatives and the positives of doing something remotely the way we're doing it. In some ways, it's actually a positive because we're not on top of each other every day. And so, we do obviously a lot by email and texting and whatnot. But it gives you time to kind of think. And then we schedule calls where we talk together. And in a way, it's almost a positive because you just get other people's opinions on things that you wouldn't necessarily get if you were all sitting in an office on top of one another day after day. I mean, that's the world I grew up in when I was at IBM and when I was at my different banks that I worked for and ultimately Bank of America. When you're on top of one another, you almost, you talk the talk because you sort of talk yourself into stuff.
Sure.
So being separated actually, I mean, obviously it's a challenge. We have to schedule calls, different time zones, and after Dan's done with class or after we're done with meetings. But on the positive, we have time to digest things and think about them, and we're not on top of one another 24/7.
Right.
So it's got its pros and its cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons actually.
Definitely. Another thing too, when you're on top of each other, you tend to micromanage each other. You tend to second guess or check on each other a lot more. Where you each have your role, you have your list of things to do, and you do it. And then when it's done, you report back to each other and say, "Hey, my list is done. What else can I do?" And because you have those distinct roles in different places, you kind of have your space to do your thing without someone breathing it down your neck, so to speak. So,
yeah, I mean, it's really, we didn't design it this way. This wasn't like part of the design. But the truth of the matter is it actually works out to be a benefit.
I can see that.
I think, everybody's just, we're just not in each other's hair, if you know what I mean. Everybody's doing their own thing. We know what we've got to get done, and we just do it.
Right.
And this is Mike here. It's definitely a blessing to be able to know that you're doing something for the greater good. For example, there'll be times where my mom will be doing a lot of the packing and the shipping. I'll be going out there to spread the word, spread awareness, go to different sporting events, different things that I can meet. We try to meet as many people as possible to spread the word about tallorder.com. And it's a way that everyone knows that they have a part in a team. To me, it's a sports analogy. In order to win a championship, everyone has to do their job and do it to the best of their ability to achieve the results that they want to achieve.
Sure.
And that's how I see this. I see this as a team. We have a team full of great people that are passionate on what they want to do. And as long as we just do our job to the best of our abilities, the results will come.
Right, and Dan, Dan is actually getting the one piece of the education that I've never had and Mike's never had, and that's really how to be an entrepreneur. I mean, we think we know what we're doing, but to get the Virginia behind us, the Jordan School of Business, to give us their expertise, can only get us to the next level. And I would be remiss also if I didn't mention Rachel Furo, who is a dear, dear friend of mine that was in children's accessories in the garment district for the last 40 years, and she recently retired, and she kind of came on board because the one thing we're all missing is the garment piece of it, the fashion piece of it, and that's where she comes in. So it's, right now it's the four of us, and we're we're having fun, and we're making a difference, and we're filling a void where people don't have socks that are fun and fashionable, and we're giving back. So far so good. It's all good.
So I'm going to ask you a tough question. If the void is in big and tall dress socks, why go to regular size socks? Where there's not much of a void, there's tons and tons and tons of socks out there.
Well, once people have heard about our story, they tend to look at our designs and they realize the designs are fashionable, the designs are colorful, they add a nice bright piece of color to any outfit, whether you're going to work or you're going out on the town. They fit a wide variety of situations. So we started getting a lot of feedback from customers saying, when are you going to make your socks available in smaller sizes? When are you going to make your socks available in smaller sizes? And, we always had heard feedback from people who were wearing size 10 and size 11 that the socks were fitting pretty good. Just needed to be refined a little bit more for a slightly smaller foot. And now we're giving the people what they want. Not every single pattern will be available. It's going to be a selection of our patterns, but we really do like what we picked, and we think that the market will respond.
That's excellent. I think it's great when the market tells you, we love your designs, we love your story, now it needs to fit my foot. Even though you start out one way, which is to satisfy the big and tall market because of lack of designs and quality colors, that was your platform, and now from there you just expand the brand to different sizes based on the demand that people are asking you to provide. It's not like you saying, hey, there's no socks for 7 to 12, let's do that, or let's overcrowd the industry. People are telling you, we want your socks in our sizes, and you guys are responding, which is fantastic. So the next question I have for you, and it's only because I spent a lot of time with my own packaging, is on this brochure I see a person wearing looks like maybe an Apple Watch, and a pair of socks, and a shoe. How'd you decide whose leg and arm would be in this picture? I'm going to show it to the audience.
That'd be me. That's Dan. That's my Apple Watch, and those are my shoes.
Okay, so this is Dan right here.
That was courtesy of our photographer Andrew Lerner, who did a great job with our photo shoot. Really professional. Andrew did an unbelievable job on those photos, and we couldn't have been happy with the way those turned out.
Good job, Dan.
I'm lucky enough to get chosen for that photo.
Nice work. And I know when we did the collar for the Perky collar, I don't know if your mom told you, I invented a product called the Perky collar. And we really struggled on whose neck would show in the picture. So it's actually a much more complex question than people realize, just like I was worrying whose hand that was and whose foot that was. And I'm sure you probably photographed all three of you and had to decide which hand and foot looked the best. So Dan, you're the winner. Congratulations. So, and I look at the smaller booklet, I see a picture of the shoes, I see a picture of the two of you together. I'm going to show this the camera so they can see what you guys look like, since you guys aren't able to be here in person. And I see some more people, one laying in bed. Let's see, we got some more pattern pictures, some more feet pictures. These all models, or these people that are friends of yours, or how did you find, here's a guy here in a blue suit with his arms crossed, looking pretty dapper with some nice looking socks, and a guy laying on a couch. Are these all friends and family, or models, or where do you find your...
A combination of all
Okay.
of the above. So the gentleman that's on the bed is Brad Smith.
Okay.
He plays for the New York Jets. He is a personal family friend too, and he is a fabulous fashion model. We love Brad,
This guy right here.
and he will always be part of the tall water team. So that's who that is.
Okay.
Then we had a couple of professional models.
Okay.
And then the other photograph in the back, that is the gentleman that's standing in a blue suit wearing the orange socks.
Uh-huh.
That is John Rothstein, and he works for CBS Sports Network. He is the voice of the NCAA basketball. He's their basketball insider. He's also a close personal friend. And so we, it was some professionals, some friends, and then Mike and Dan were in there, and, it was a labor of love from all different directions.
It sounds like it. People don't realize how much time and effort goes into marketing material packaging, so I'm glad you shared your story. I want to wrap up with all the celebrity endorsements that you have. It sounds like you're well connected even without the business, just friends and family. But I think it's so impressive with a 5-month-old company, how many celebrities, NBA players, former NBA players, have gotten a hold of a pair of socks and are proudly taking a picture with the socks. Can you give us a rundown of who's wearing them, who's taking photographs for you, maybe how you met them? Because I think those that are watching that have their own brand or have their own product, if they can get their hands into a celebrity's hands, it can be a game changer. And especially if they obviously enjoy the product and wear it on a regular basis is not just a freebie. So walk us through a little bit about how that happened and which celebrities you're working with currently.
Mike, you want to take that?
So when we originally started out with the stocks, we did give a couple of them to a specific store in Atlanta called Friedman Shoes.
Okay.
And they make shoes for all the big athletes, and one of their bigger clients was Shaq. So of course we got Shaq to get a picture with one of our stocks, which was one of the coolest things.
Wait, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. You have to remember that Mike and Dan both have size 15/16 shoes. So we've been long-time customers of Friedman shoes. We love them, and they love us. And so when we were down there showing them the socks, they happened to be working at that moment with Shaq. and that's how that all
Oh,
happens.
that's nice.
They are a wonderful family-run business also, and we love working with them, and it's kind of been a win-win for everybody.
So did you start a conversation?
Another one that comes to
Can I interrupt you for a second? So did you start a conversation? Did you start a conversation directly with Shaq, or how did that conversation transpire?
No. They actually had made some custom shoes. Actually, let me back up a minute. Megalon, who's another one of our partners, and we deal with Gary Halpern and Daryl Anderson and a bunch of guys from Megalon. But anyway, they were busy measuring Shaq's feet. But it was all done through Friedman Shoes. And so we happened to be there the day that the shoes got delivered.
I see.
And we had the shoes and we had the socks with us. And so Friedman's made sure that Shaq got the socks with the shoes, and that's how that all worked out.
That's very
It was
cool.
just, right place, right time, great partners, great friends, and we all help one another.
That's excellent. Well, you're paying it forward as well, so that's fantastic. So,
Yeah.
so you had Shaq because of the fortunate event of the story you're dealing with was making custom shoes for Shaq. What about the other celebrities you've worked with? Obviously, with the NBA All-Star Game, that's obviously a big help.
Yeah, so we went to an event over the summer for a cancer foundation called the Harold and Carol Pump Foundation. They raised money for cancer research, and we met a ton of athletes who loved our socks, such as Gary Payton, Paul Pierce, John Starks, Eddie George, Charles Woodson, and ironically, Paul Pierce ended up mentioning our sock with Neil Everett on an episode of Sports Center one night. So that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
We went to the Basketball Hall of Fame, and Dikembe Mutombo loved our socks.
And Clark Kellogg was wearing them, and then friends of ours who happened to work for IMG, they saw Clark at another event in Kansas, and they just looked down, and he was wearing tall order socks, and he's like, oh my God, these fit great. So it's like, because there's nothing, it really is a white space. It's a void in the market.
Right.
There wasn't anything out there, and now there is something out there, plus we give back, and I think people say like, anybody can make socks, what makes yours different? Well, ours are different because they are based on a legacy of people that are no longer here. They're for the everyday hero, and we give back to other people that have gone through similar things that we've gone through. Any type of traumatic loss, we all have to stick together.
Exactly right. And to give a plug to Tuesday's Children, those of you that are watching or listening to the show want to get back or learn more about their the organization I've chosen to give 10% back of sales to, it's tuesdayschildren.org. I encourage you to take a look at it, help out if you can, and learn more. Anything we missed? You guys have been fantastic. Great story. Great information. I think any entrepreneur watching this show has got to be inspired by your story. In 5 months, you've done more than most people do in 10 years, so congratulations.
Thank you. And we encourage everyone to just go to our website, tallorder.com. That's tallorder.com.
Excellent. Anything I missed? Anything else we're going to cover before we end the interview?
Nope, I think we're all set.
Excellent.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Really great.
My pleasure. So on the phone we had Lisa,
Have a great day.
Dan, and Mike, and you're watching the Wake Up Call Network. I'm your host, David M. Frankel. We will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.